Welcome to our Beyond Times Square webinar today. We're here to talk about luxury weekend getaways to New York City and Washington, D.C. And it is my pleasure to turn it over to Carole Peck. Carole is the content manager at Beyond Times Square and has prepared a fabulous presentation for us. So Carole, over to you.
Thank you, Lee. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Carole Peck. As Lee already said, I am the content manager here at Beyond Times Square. Thank you so much for joining me for today's webinar. So today's presentation is going to be focusing on a different type of traveler. They're the ones that I know you've all had or will have with clients at some point. And I'm referring to three types of travelers in particular. They are the weekend warriors, they are the let's add one more destination to our adventure types, and they are the road trippers. And we here at Beyond Times Square have plenty of ideas to ensure that your clients who identify with any or all of these types of travel preferences will have an amazing, one-of-a-kind private luxury experience in the short amount of time that they spend in two of our most popular destinations, New York City and Washington, D.C. So without further ado, let's get started because we have a lot of ground to cover today. So first, what's new in our two favorite destinations? Well, for starters, New York Restaurant Week is back. In fact, it started yesterday, and don't let the name deceive you because it actually runs through August 20th, making it a full month. And if you're not familiar, New York City actually runs as a very popular, much anticipated culinary event twice a year in January and then again in July. And actually in January, it corresponds with Broadway Week, which is another fabulous event where your clients can snag 2-for-1 show tickets. And they run that twice a year too, but it's not coming up till September. It's not corresponding with Restaurant Week. In any case, what is Restaurant Week? It's a foodie's delight, and it's a fabulous way to try out tons of fabulous restaurants in all 5 boroughs. And they're all at discounted rates. And basically what happens is the participating restaurants, you can get a 2-course lunch and a 3-course dinner for either $30, $45, or $60, depending on if it's lunch or dinner and depending on the venue itself. And for details on that, you can actually head to the New York City Tourism Conventions website, which used to be New York City and Company. They recently rebranded, but they're at nyctourism.com. Up next is something called Pop in the City, and this is pretty cool. I was actually walking in Midtown about 2 weeks ago and noticed it and wondered what the heck it was. I come to find out it's Pop in the City. And it's located in Greeley Square, which is just south of Macy's. So basically think of it as a bouncy house on steroids. It's a very long, block long actually, bouncy house that comes complete with giant slides, disco lights, oversized ball pits, and state-of-the-art effects that make it a sensory adventure as well, right? So you can bounce, you can dance, you can slide, or you can just walk through it. But no matter what your age, it's an unforgettable experience, and it is great for the entire family. You know, adults are going to get a kick out of this as well. And that one runs through September 3rd only. So if you have clients visiting between now and then, tell them check it out. And not to be outdone by New York City, Washington, D.C. has its very own restaurant week, which they call Metropolitan Washington Restaurant Week. This one, however, truly is a week, and it runs from Monday, August 28th through Sunday, September 3rd. And just like the Big Apple, our nation's capital also hosts Restaurant Week twice a year. The other week is typically in January as well. So what kind of deals can you expect during this time? Well, DC's version has restaurants offering 3-course menus for lunch at $25, dinners for $40 and $55. And if your clients love a good brunch like I do, those menus are always also $25. All right, now that we got you caught up on our 2 favorite destinations, let's talk luxury experiences. So weekend travel in New York City and Washington, D.C. As I referenced at the start of the webinar, this presentation is geared towards 3 types of travelers, right? So first, it's those clients who like to take multiple weekend getaways throughout the year instead of a week or 2 long vacations. And truth be told, yours truly is this person. I would much rather take a bunch of mini getaways throughout the year as opposed to just 1 or 2 week-long vacations. The other type is the second type, those who have jumped on the bandwagon and they're heading to Europe this year because we can now, right? So many of these travelers are connecting through major cities to get to their final destination. And those major cities often include the 3 New York City area airports and the 3 Washington, D.C. area airports. See where I'm getting at here? If they're not from the East Coast, or if they've just had a chance to never visit these amazing cities, what a great opportunity for them to spend a day or two exploring them before heading home or before heading across the pond. So front of the vacation or the end of the vacation, either one works. The third type of client that we're focusing on is those that indeed live within driving distance, and that would be up for discussion, right? Because sometimes driving distance means 2 or 3 hour drive to some people. Others think it's a 10 or 12 hour drive is within driving distance. And trust me, I personally fall into that first group. Please do not put me in a car for more than 3 or 4 hours tops. It just won't end well. But whatever one of the categories that your clients fit into, we have here at Beyond Times Square plenty of options for these quick 2 or 3 day stays in either destination. And just a side note, well, typically it's weekends when people do a 2 or 3 day mini vacation. They take a long weekend. Our experiences are certainly not limited to just weekends. So if they're just doing 2 or 3 days during the week, same thing applies, right? So let's check out their options. First up, just in case you missed our last webinar, which was actually back in May. And by the way, you can always head to btsq.com and check it out on our webinar page. In fact, you'll find all of our previous webinars there. In any case, it was during that webinar, that last one in May, that I had the privilege of introducing our brand new for 2023 BTSQ signature experiences. So the concept of this was the result of 2 things, actually. First, we listened to what a lot of you as travel advisors were asking for, the opportunity to be able to book hotels through Beyond Times Square along with our amazing experiences, kind of like making us a one-stop shop, right? And 2, we know as well as you do that it can be so daunting when you're planning to get away to the Big Apple for your clients. I mean, with the vast amount of experiences that New York City offers, from the iconic attractions, the exciting activities, the famous landmarks, the beautiful parks, then there's all those Broadway show options. And of course, we can't forget all those amazing dining and hotel options. And don't forget, we're not just talking about Manhattan. We've got 4 other boroughs that are quickly becoming popular requests for half-day or even full-day experiences. So needless to say, it's a lot. So taking those 2 main thought processes into consideration, our super amazing product team came up with what we now call our BTSQ Signatures Experiences, which is a solution to both of these quote unquote dilemmas or obstacles or stumbling blocks, however you'd like to categorize them. Basically, you guys asked and we answered, right? So now you may be wondering just what exactly are BTSQ Signature Experiences, Carole? Well, allow me to elaborate. Our BTSQ Signature Experiences are very simple, actually. They're private luxury tour and hotel packages that are curated by our expert, knowledgeable, and oh so eager to create lifelong memory for your clients' experience designers. In a nutshell, they allow your luxury clients to explore, experience, and indulge in New York City in a way that is curated for their particular interests and passions, with the ultimate goal being to create seamless experiences for them that result in once-in-a-lifetime memories. And of course, all of the elements included in our BTSQ Signature Experiences can be customized to your client's satisfaction. If they want to add a tour, include additional transportation, extend their hotel stay, our experience designers will make it happen. And that's why every signature experience bears the Beyond Times Square name, because we are confident in them, we are proud of them, and we want to show you and your clients our never-ending commitment to supreme hospitality. So let's talk about the hotel we partnered with to make this happen. But before I do, I just want to mention that this is the first of many hotels that we are planning on partnering with. And boy, did we pick an impressive one to roll out this program with. But that being said, there will be more coming on board throughout the rest of the year, so stay tuned for those announcements. But our first hotel partner is the luxurious, timeless, and oh so elegant 5-star Pier Hotel. It's a landmark hotel. It's been gracing Manhattan with its presence since 1930, and it's just one of those iconic symbols of the city's grandeur, and it's the epitome of affluence and extraordinary service. And my team and I had the pleasure of actually touring the pier a few months back, and we're blown away not only by its opulence, but perhaps more importantly, its welcoming vibe. In fact, one of my team members observed that it was more like walking into your apartment building, provided your apartment building was a luxury apartment building, than a hotel. And we came to find out that the pier does indeed house private residents, which made that observation spot on. Now, can we talk about the location? It's situated right on one of Manhattan's most famous avenues, none other than Fifth Avenue, which means it's just a short walk from all those luxury high-end shops like Tiffany's, Bergdorf Goodman, Louis Vuitton. You get the idea. Plus, it's on 61st Street, which means it's directly across the street from Central Park. This also means it sits in a quieter section of the city, out of the hustle and bustle of Times Square, which is only a short 20-minute walk away with lots to see along the way. Now, I don't know about you, but when I stay in the city, I don't want to walk out into that craziness, although extremely exciting atmosphere of Times Square. I kind of like to ease myself into that part of Manhattan. And I know a lot of your luxury clients probably feel the same way. So that's why this location of the pier makes it perfect for your clients that might have that same mindset as I have. Now, here comes a really exciting part for y'all, because thanks to our partnership with this Taj Hotel, which, by the way, is one of only 2 Taj Hotel properties in the US, the other is in San Francisco. Anyway, thanks to this partnership, we have very hotel competitive pricing at this 5-star beauty. But that's not all. And if I have lost you to multitasking at some point along the way, now is the time to zone back in, because the hotel cost, including all the taxes and the facility fee, are included in the package pricing. And you know what that means, right? Of course you do. It means you as a travel advisor get commission on all of it. Let me say that one more time, you guys. The total package price, including taxes and facility fee for the hotel, is all commissionable to you. And of course, your clients aren't going to get any unexpected surprise fees at the end of their visit, since we have them included in, which is also a good thing. And that's not all. Our packages are available in different number of nights combination, as well as different choices of room categories to satisfy your client's specific wants and needs. And one more thing before you ask, because I know you will, because I certainly would if I were you, we do not sell the pier separately. It is only sold as a part of one of our fabulous packages. I mean, as it should be, right, though? Because we all know that when your clients arrive in the city, they're not going to sit in their hotel room the entire time. I mean, at least I hope not. They're going to get right out there, and they're going to want to see and experience what this amazing metropolis offers. So why not get them pre-booked and get commission on those experiences and tours and activities that they're going to partake in anyway, right? Right. Okay. So let's move along. One more thing I want to mention. If they do not want to stay at the pier, that is not a problem. We can take the pier off the package. You obviously would have to book the hotel of their choice through another source. However, like I said, we will be having more hotel choices coming up very shortly, so you're not going to be limited to just the pier. Okay, now let's move on. Multi-day experiences. These are the packages that were created to ultimately become a part of our signature experiences. And they're also the ones that are perfect for this theme or the context of this webinar, be that the weekend travel or just a few days during the week. You know, in other words, the quick trip or stop in New York City. Currently, we have 5 of these packages. We categorize them as multi-day packages or experiences, with many more on the horizon. And just kind of for a sneak peek behind the curtain, think multi-day holiday experiences, which I am super excited for. But for now, let's talk about the big 5, right? So first, our Timeless Essentials Classic and Premium Private Experiences. These are great for your first-time visitors. They both offer similar components, with the premium package being more of an upgrade to those components. So how does that work? Well, they both include hotel accommodations at the pier, of course. They include luxury round-trip airport transfers, and by luxury, I mean in a private luxury vehicle, anywhere from a sedan up to a full-on stretch limo with a private driver and meet and greet at most of the city's airports. They also both include Broadway show tickets. So for the classic package, that would mean standard orchestra or mezzanine seating. Well, for the premium package, it would be an upgrade to premium seating at the show. And of course, the show is entirely up to your client. And oh my gosh, so many great ones right now to choose from, you guys. I actually just saw And Juliet last month, and I cannot rave enough about this. So the music, it's all like 90s and early 2000s hits. The story, incredible. It just blew me away. It's one of those super high energy shows with a lot of laughs and amazing musical numbers that just want to make you get up and out of your seat and dance. You know, I highly recommend this. But anyway, sorry, I digress. I just love that show. But anyway, also included in our classic or premium timeless essential package would be your client's choice of a 4-hour private tour. Now for the classic package, that would be a 4-hour private walking tour, while the premium would be an upgrade to a 4-hour private tour via luxury vehicle. So to give you an idea of some of your client's choices, the 4-hour private walking tour options pretty much include any neighborhood or borough you can think of. We have walking tours in all of them. So we have a private cultural walk through Little Italy and Chinatown. We have a walking tour of Central Park. We have a Soho walking tour, Highline, Chelsea Market, Meatpacking District walking tour, Origins of New York walking tour, Lower East Side walking tour. You get the idea. And if they don't find what they want from all of our pre-packaged options, we have a choose your own neighborhood private walking tour. So basically they just decide the area they want to tour. We find the guide that's proficient in it and away they go, right? Now for the vehicle tours, they include options similar. There's a lot of ones that are centered around different neighborhoods. So we have and boroughs. So like we have a Bronx Tale, obviously that's a borough of Bronx. We have a Manhattan Highlights. We have a Harlem Yesterday and Today Highlights. That's a fabulous one. We have an East Side and Upper West Side tour via luxury vehicle. We have a Brooklyn Highlights. We have a Queens Highlights. You get the idea, right? Or again, we can always customize a tour based on your client's interests and passions. So really, no matter what they're looking for, we can make it happen, right? Basically, any tour they choose is going to come with an expert tour guide who's going to enlighten them not only with the historical facts, but entertain them with fun anecdotes, share little known secrets, point out hidden gems. Honestly, our guides are amazing, and they actually go through training with our team. So handpicked by us, can't say enough about them, always getting such rave reviews on them. Love our guides. Now, also included in these would be a choice of general admissions, one of four of the most popular museums in the Big Apple, and that would be the Museum of Modern Art, or MoMA for short, the American Museum of Natural History, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, you may know that as the Met, or the newest of all, the Museum of Broadway. So two things to note here. It's general admission. So no matter which package they choose, it's general admission. There's no upgrade on it, but this means they're free to explore at their own pace. And however, if they want a private tour guide, we can always get them one. They can always do an upgrade and pay for that private tour guide to take them through. And we do have a lot of great ambassadors right at the museums that do that for us. The second note is about the new Museum of Broadway. I know a lot of you may not be familiar with it yet because it's one of the newest museums in the city. It opened at the end of last year, and I also just got a chance to visit that last month, and oh my gosh, it is so amazing, especially for your clients who are fans of Broadway. It's a completely immersive experience. It's really going to wow them. The memorabilia they have secured from past and present shows is just incredible, but you also get to learn the fascinating history of Broadway and a peek into making a Broadway show. And again, I cannot rave about this experience enough. And if you have Broadway fans, if your clients are Broadway fans, I would encourage them to take the general admission and go there. All right, so moving on. Our next set of multi-day experiences is our Best of New York 2-day and 3-day private experiences. These are also great for first timers. So like the Timeless Essential packages, both include accommodations at the pier and of course a luxury round trip airport transfers. They also both include premium tickets to a Broadway show of your client's choice, as well as their choice of admission to one of those 4 world-class museums I already talked about. Now here's where the differences come in. Since they're multi-day tours, on day number 1, they will get an 8-hour full-day private tour complete with an expert local and licensed tour guide in a private luxury vehicle. And this tour is going to include all the highlights, right? So it's our Central Park and Midtown Highlights tour, where they will take in the infamous, flashy, and always entertaining Times Square, the grandeur of the architectural landmark Grand Central Terminal, and the sprawling cultural hub that is Rockefeller Center, and much, much more. So think Midtown Highlights tour. Then among the day's other highlights, they're going to be checking out some of the city's most unique public spaces, the Highline Park, the distinctive triangular Flatiron Building, the vibrant and dynamic Union Square, and basically the rest of the day, we'll customize it based on your client's interests and passion. So they'll be seeing what they want to see. And that's not all. They also get to round out the day with their choice of general admission to one of 4 of the city's fabulous observation decks. And they include the iconic Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center's very own Top of the Rock, Hudson Yards' unique Edge, and the dazzling Summit One Vanderbilt. So then we go into day 2. Day 2 has them heading out once again with an expert tour guide for an 8-hour experience. This time they're going to discover all of Lower Manhattan's most significant landmarks. So First stop, Battery Park. They're going to board the ferry, scenic ride over, transporting them to a time and place where millions of hopeful European immigrants arrive starry-eyed, ready to take on new lives in America. And we all know that is over to the Statue of Liberty, right? So upon arrival, they'll get to stand in the shadow of that majestic Lady Liberty. They'll get to explore her story in the Statue of Liberty Museum, which is fairly new. I think it opened right before COVID, but so it's pretty new. Then they'll get back on the ferry and go over to Ellis Island, where they're going to hopefully have some ancestors perhaps that ended up going through Ellis Island. And I know that I personally did, and sometimes you just get overcome with emotion when you realize that you could be following in the footsteps of your ancestors. So Ellis Island is always, it can be a very emotional journey for a lot of people. But even if you didn't have even if your clients didn't have relatives that came through Ellis Island, it's still fascinating piece, obviously, of American history. And then after that, ferry will return them back to beautifully landscaped Battery Park, which is really cool. I mean, it's got the winding paths and the trees. It's one of my favorite parks in New York City, but they'll walk through that and then they'll head up to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And that's just, it's very somber. And such a powerful experience, and something I believe everybody should see when they're in the city. Just if nothing else, I know a lot of people, the museum is really heavy. I don't recommend it for younger children. I guess it depends on your client's children's ages, but just walking through the grounds, the memorial grounds, is a great way to pay tribute without actually going into the museum. This tour does include both, though. And then for the rest of the package, if it's a 3-day package, it's on that third day, it's going to include a third day where your clients can get their choice of 2 private half-day experiences, right? So among those are our Greenwich Village food tasting walking tour, yum, 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 our private New York City and pizza and gelato challenge, which is even more yummy. We have a Treasures of the Met private tour they can choose from. That's great for your art lovers. And of course, our very popular private horse and carriage ride in Central Park. Everybody loves to do that. Or if you have more active clients, we also have an option for a private bike tour of Central Park. And again, those are the ones we recommend. Mix and match is always fine with us. We love to curate here. One more, the 5th of our multi-day experiences is our VIP New York City shopping and pampering package. And basically, this experience includes a day with a personal shopper where your clients are going to gain exclusive access to the city's finest retail stores, VIP fitting rooms, limited edition items, and collections not yet available to the public. So really cool for our shopaholics out there. Then on spa day, it's all about their mental health. They're going to escape to Governor's Island. They're going to spend 5 hours relaxing, reviving, restoring. It's the luxury QC New York spa. They're going to be able to wander through 20 wellness spa experiences at their own pace. And the best part is they get to admire the iconic city skyline from the beauty and quietness of this island, right? So in case you're not familiar, Governor Island, it's just a short ferry ride. I think it's like 10 minutes from Lower Manhattan. Of course, the ticket's included. And once your clients arrive there, the view of the city is just magnificent. And the views from the spa are just it makes it a perfect spa experience. It really does. So that's it for the multi-days. Like I said, all those would fit great into a weekend jaunt, a long weekend jaunt, or a couple of days during the week. Let's talk about some summer things that they can do if they decide to do their weekend itinerary or their 2 or 3 day itinerary in the summer. So we have a lot of full and half day experiences that fit nicely into this. Of course, I can't go over all of them. There's so many, but I'm just going to pick out some of the ones that I think would be great for summer. So let's start with an educational way to beat the heat, right? There's an almost countless array of museums. And now we're talking, we're not just talking New York City anymore. Now we're bringing Washington, D.C. into the mix. And I do want to tell you why I haven't talked about Washington, D.C. yet. And that is because everything that I talked about as far as our BTSQ signature experiences and our new multi-day packages, that was just launched in New York City. Next up, we're going to launch all that in Washington, D.C. So stay tuned. That's hopefully coming in 3rd quarter this year. That's why I didn't touch on it in D.C. because we're just not there yet, but we still have plenty of we still have plenty of full day, half day tours, and we can obviously put together a 2 or 3 day. Actually, we do have a 2 or 3 day tour, but we can curate away. So keep that in mind for DC. Anyway, back to the summer experiences, right? So I know I already went over a lot of the New York museums. I just want to throw in a few more. Of course, there's the Guggenheimer, the Guggenheim, which is well known for its architectural design. Thank you, Frank Lloyd Wright. It's a really cool building, and what it houses inside too. It's got this exceptional collection of modern and contemporary art. You know, think Picasso and Van Gogh, and it's very innovative and thought-provoking why can't I say this word? Exhibitions are always popular. It's just one of those inspiring, captivating museums. It's great for your art lovers. Another super cool option is the Intrepid. And if you're not familiar, the USS Intrepid is actually an aircraft carrier, and it's a National Historic Landmark that served in 2 wars. And on this ship, you'll see the Space Shuttle Enterprise. You'll see the British Airlines Concorde jet, and then outside is a Growler submarine that you can tour, and then tons more. It's a really cool experience. And then of course there's the ever popular Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and that's a great selfie place, right, where your clients can get up close and personal with their collection of those lifelike figures, you know, famous and historical figures, favorite film and television characters, sports figures, you name it, they got them in there. And DC. Let's give DC some love now, shall we? DC is home to those world famous Smithsonian museums, and your clients can take their pick because there's 21 of them. Plus, the National Zoo is owned by the Smithsonian. And perhaps the best part, and the one a lot of people aren't aware of, is that they're all free. And yeah, the admission is all free. But we actually offer a great experience in DC called our Treasures of America Walking Tour, where your clients can choose 2 of the Smithsonian museums that appeal to their interests and passions, and get a private guided tour with one of our local expert tour guides. So that's an opportunity for them to actually, you know, our guides down there, they know the insides, they know the secrets, they know, you know, where to take people based on their preferences. So you tell them the museum and what you're kind of interested in the museum, and they will make sure you get to see it. So that's a really cool guided way to see it. The other thing that you can do in the summer that's always great to beat the heat is through food, right? Well, actually through desserts, okay? And that brings us to some fabulous food tours that we offer in New York City. And both of these are led by well-respected culinary historian, cookbook author, and culinary educator with a specialty in artisanal foods. This tour guide, this woman is fabulous and so knowledgeable. Your clients are going to love her. We love her. So brand new, like we just rolled it out this week, is our Great New York City Ice Cream Challenge, where your clients can embark on a delectable journey through New York City, exploring the surprising history of frozen treats, as well as the history of the neighborhoods they're going to visit, right? So they're going to taste their way through 4 popular ice cream shops and gelateries throughout Union Square, Flatiron District, East Village, and Nolita. And they're going to be able to rate the ice creams as they go. What a yummy way to play food critic, right? And then there's one of our others. This has been around. It's a super popular food tour. It's our private pizza and gelato challenge. And this one, your clients will sample pizza from 3 different pizzerias and 2 different gelateries, rating them as they go. And of course, they can also expect history lesson on both of these treats. This one's down in Lower Manhattan as well. And again, super yummy way to play food critic. Very popular tour for us, which I assume that the ice cream one is going to be also. So moving on, how about getting out in the water to cool down, right? Your clients can go out in the water, hopefully get that cool water breeze, and both DC and New York City offer great experiences to do that. Now in New York City, we have our private sightseeing harbor cruise and lunch, where your clients will cruise down the Hudson River. They'll go past the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island. They'll head up the East River, go into those 3 bridges. We call them the BMWs. That's how we remember them here. Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Williamsburg. Then they head all the way up to the Queensboro Bridge. So they're going all the way up. Remember, and I am one of those people that really, really appreciates seeing someplace from the water. If I'm in a city that's on the water, seeing that city from the water, and I think this is a great way to do it. You're getting such a fabulous look at and pretty much all 3 sides of Manhattan. I love going out in the harbor in New York. And not only that, but they're also getting to see they're also having a delicious lunch while they're on board. So it's a win-win, right? They eat and they sightsee. The other one is in DC, and this is new. The other boat tour, I should say, is in DC, and it's new for 2023, and it's really cool. It's our day trip to Washington's Mount Vernon, and it's a private bike and speedboat tour. Just want to point out, they could do these separately. They can do just a private bike tour, and they can do just a private speedboat tour. But this is going to be for your active clients, right? Because it starts out with a 17-mile or about 3-hour bike ride. So what we've done is combine 2 unique modes of transportations, and they'll enjoy a day of discovery and history and just amazing views exploring not only DC, but Mount Vernon, right? So your clients are going to cycle past all those iconic landmarks. They're going to hear about the history of the first US president as they pedal along the Capitol's beautiful bike paths with their expert bike guide, who's a great guy, by the way. Then they're going to wander the picturesque grounds of Washington's historic plantation when they get there with one of the plantation's ambassadors. So it's an expert historian guide that actually is on the grounds waiting for them to give them that private tour. And they're actually going to see parts of plantation that other people don't always see on public tours. So that's a plus. And then when they're done, they're going to get onto a boat, and their speedboat, and they're going to go back to, they're going to actually cruise the Potomac River back to quaint little Georgetown, which Georgetown is an amazing city in itself. But they're going to be taking in the views all the way down to Georgetown. Insightful commentary of the boat, the speedboat captains, also met them. Captain Denny and his crew, amazing, fun, enjoyable, knowledgeable, you name it. They just make the experience out on the water just a fabulous experience, and I highly recommend you doing. If you don't want to do this, if your clients don't want to do this, double bike and boat, absolutely try to get them on, at least on the boat part of it, right? Because we do sell that separately. Then, if none of those options appeal to your clients, there's always private tour via luxury vehicle, air-conditioned luxury vehicle, right? That's a good summer option. So I already told you about the New York City options. So let's throw out some DC options. First is the full-day Washington DC highlights tour, which great for first-timers because it includes, well, all the highlights, right? Think Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, White House, you get the idea. And of course, their expert private tour guide is going to explain the history and significance of each site. And there's plenty of opportunities for them to jump out and take pictures along the way. Another popular experience we have is our Georgetown Embassy Row private tour. And let me tell you, I said this briefly, but Georgetown is a must-see when in DC. It's really got it all. It's cobblestone streets, grand mansions, these stunning row houses, tons of unique shops, a very picturesque waterfront, due to the fact that it's right on the Potomac River, right? Just historic, charming, lots of fabulous dining options. It really has something for everyone. And then Embassy Row portion of it, Embassy Row actually refers to a section of Massachusetts Avenue where numerous, as you may have guessed, embassies, diplomatic residence, and international organizations are located. And this is another must-see because, guys, we're talking stately mansions, older stately mansions, and then modern embassy buildings. Architecture is just incredible, right? And then it's picturesque too. It's got the tree-lined streets, beautifully groomed gardens are breathtaking. And of course, it's a historical, cultural, and international significance. So it's a great history lesson along the way as well. So those are our summer experiences and our 2 main destinations. I do want to touch on Boston. A lot of you don't know, we do offer Boston and Philadelphia as secondary destinations. Don't get as much requests for them, but we still have them and we still love them, and we still do get requests. So I want to talk about Boston because it's an ideal summer destination for luxury travels because it's a blend of history and culture and culinary delights and more. And of course, we offer fabulous luxury offerings in this city, and they're really perfect additions to a weekend getaway in Beantown. So Boston is one of the oldest cities in the US, right? And its history is going to be very evident if your clients have never been there. As soon as they see the beautifully preserved colonial architecture here and the cobblestone streets as well, they can experience this beauty on our Freedom Trail private walking tour, which comes with a costumed expert tour guide. And basically they'll find themselves on this tour following in the city's historical footsteps. They're going to walk from Boston Common to Faneuil Hall, taking in all the historic spots along the way. If you haven't done the Freedom Trail, if your clients haven't, it's a must do when you're in Boston. There's also ways to do it without walking it. They do have a trolley there as well that you can take. I think back in the day, it might have been free. I don't think it is anymore. That would have to be something you would have to, well, actually, you wouldn't have to research it. Our experience designers would research it for you and let you know. Then there also, if they don't feel like walking, they can opt for our Discover Boston private experience, which takes place via a private and air-conditioned luxury vehicle, right? And it's pretty much got the same idea. It's going to be showing them Boston Common, the site of the Boston Massacre, Paul Revere's house. This one also goes up to Harvard Square. So a lot of the historical high points of the city. And then, of course, we have Boston's famed harbor, Boston Tea Party, anyone? This is also the site of some of our most breathtaking experiences, like our private VIP Boston Yacht Experience, which comes complete with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, or our private Sunset Boston Harbor Cruise that offers breathtaking sunset and skyline views. And like I say, there's nothing like seeing the city from the water surrounding it, and Boston is certainly no exception. And then there's my personal favorite, our private historic Boston pub crawl. Now this one takes place also along Boston's famous Freedom Trail, but it throws in some adult beverages, right? So your clients are going to visit 4 different pubs, and they can enjoy a draft beer or hard cider of their choice at each one. And then, of course, along the way, they're going to get the history lesson from an expert tour guide, but it's not going to be the one they got in 8th grade social studies class. This one is going to tell how beer played a part in the birth of America, from the landing on the Plymouth Rock by the Pilgrims to the start of the Revolution. And of course, it includes round trip transfers in a private luxury vehicle to start the tour and then back, because we want everybody getting home safely, right? And that is a little overview of Boston. Now, moving on, we're going right from summer into Thanksgiving. Don't you love how that happens? Actually, I sometimes feel like it happens in real life. And the fact that it's almost August is really freaking me out, but that's a whole nother story. So I just want to remind everyone, if you've been on our webinars before, you've heard about it, our exclusive Thanksgiving Day parade viewing party at Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse. It's back. And if you're not familiar, it's an exclusive indoor parade viewing brunch, and it is the way to watch the parade in style for your luxury clients and experience a Thanksgiving morning like no other. I mean, your clients are going to be treated to a fabulous hot breakfast buffet, picture perfect views of the parade's floats and balloons from a private venue with 2 stories, floor to ceiling windows, fabulous views, and they'll receive the highest quality of service and hospitality. And we're talking fabulous fare here. Food is delicious. Del Frisco's is a well-known, amazing venue. We also have unlimited mimosas and Bloody Marys, because what's Thanksgiving morning without those, right? And then there's entertainment for the kids and the adults. So if you can picture, our venue, the Del Frisco's, is actually situated right across from Rockefeller Center, and the parade actually starts up at Central Park West. So it's going to take probably about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes to get down. So in the meantime, to keep kids, and this is very family friendly, of course, and the adults entertained, although the mimosas and Bloody Marys may do it for the adults, but we do have entertainment that includes a DJ, Broadway performers, a balloon maker, a face painter, and a characterist. So lots of stuff going on besides the parade. And I got to tell you, it has sold out the past 2 years, and the rates do increase as we get closer. So if you have clients that are on the fence, reach out to them now, because unfortunately, they've already missed out on the early bird rates, which were just increased. They were our lowest rates available, and we just increased them a few weeks ago. And trust me, there will be more increases as we get closer. There always are, but you still have a chance now to get them at the second lowest rate of the year. So, and of course you want to get them in before it sells out, because it will sell out. And that's my little blurb on Thanksgiving. Now let's talk a little bit. Well, as long as we're into November, why don't we just go right on to December, right? So in case you didn't realize it, and when I was preparing this webinar, I realized that today is exactly 5 months till Christmas Day. You're welcome. Let's talk about some of our fabulous holiday experiences in the spirit of that. One of the most beloved Christmas movies of all time is undoubtedly Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, right? Where you see Kevin McAllister embark on yet another solo adventure, this time in New York City. And now Kevin's very memorable and unplanned escapades are the inspiration for one of our most popular holiday offerings, our Home Alone 2 Christmas in New York private tour. Basically what happens is for 5 hours, your clients are going to be in a luxury vehicle transporting them into the heart of Kevin's journey, along with an expert tour guide who will share fun facts and insider information about each location they visit. And these locations include the Industrial Plaza Hotel, where Kevin effortlessly duped the staff, snow-covered Central Park, hopefully snow-covered, where he melted the heart of the Pigeon Lady, and one of the world's most renowned toy stores, FAO Schwartz, which was actually renamed Duncan's Toy Chest for the film, where he forged a new friendship and thwarted a robbery. And then the grand finale for your clients, they're going to cap off this memorable day with a visit to their choice of one of 4 of the Big Apple's observation decks that we spoke about earlier, for a breathtaking bird's eye view of the city all gussied up in its holiday best. So great opportunity for Home Alone 2 fans. And I always tell people, I always tell our advisors to tell their clients, if they have not seen the movie, watch it before they go, because they're going to get that much more out of it. If they haven't, watch it when you come back, and then they'll even get more out of it. So it's a win-win either way. All right, so major retails in Manhattan never disappoint come December, right? From the elaborately decorated windows that they unveil every holiday season, to those buildings decked out in the festive lighting and the accents, and in some cases even music, to that world-famous, brilliantly illuminated Christmas tree that towers over Rockefeller Center, to the world's largest menorah. The holiday decor is nothing short of phenomenal. And thanks to our Manhattan Holiday Private Light Store, your clients can soak in all this holiday spirit without having to brave the elements, right? So, or deal with the crowds. So instead, they can sit back and relax in the comfort of a private luxury vehicle. This time we're going to say with heat instead of air conditioning, right? Because we've already moved ahead to winter. And their own personal chauffeur who's going to take care of navigating the busy New York streets, and as the expert tour guide with them will provide fascinating insights into the history and significance of the holiday decorations. So it's going to make the experience even that more enriching. Not only are they not fighting the crowds, but they're also getting to hear some background about it, which is always so cool. And believe me, our guides are filled with knowledgeable background and anecdotes and hidden gems and treasures. Moving on though, if you think the borough of Manhattan has a monopoly on holiday decorations, you haven't been to Brooklyn, right? The highlight of our crazy Christmas Lights of Brooklyn private tour is what is the now infamous Dyker Heights neighborhood. And thanks to the, we're going back to 2001 already, PBS documentary Dyker Heights, and then a feature on, if you guys have seen it, the TLC's Crazy Lights of Christmas, Dyker Heights has become a must-see if you're in or around the area from Thanksgiving through New Year. So holiday decorations on steroids is an understatement. I mean, from over the top light displays, extravagant, inflatable characters, they just go all out to spread the holiday cheer. And basically your clients are going to be able to fully immerse themselves in this winter wonderland while being driven around in the comfort of a private luxury vehicle with heat, while again, their expert tour guide just provides interesting facts and countless stories about the neighborhood and its holidays tradition. It's a really great, adults and children both get so much out of it, and it really puts everyone in the holiday spirit if they're not already in it. And that's not all, because the amazing product team here at Beyond Times Square is also busy curating more spectacular luxury holiday experiences, like a visit to a handful of the city's festive holiday markets, followed by a cozy little afternoon tea. Or how about a holiday themed version of our very popular horse and carriage ride through Central Park? Or how about a train enthusiast focused one for our train enthusiasts? We add a VIP touch to the famed holiday train show at the stunning New York Botanical Gardens. So definitely more to come on those. That was just kind of a sneak peek. Haven't gotten all of the details together on them, of logistics, but they're coming up. They're going to be great. And like I said, we're also looking at some multi-day experiences, or packages rather, during the holidays. So stay tuned for those as well. And with that, I just want to thank you all so much for attending today's webinar, Beyond Times Square. It was truly my pleasure to give you some ideas on what you can offer your luxury clients when they head either into New York City or Washington, DC, or even Boston for just a few days. And of course, this is just a portion of the incredible private luxury options we offer your valued clients. So please, please reach out to my amazing experienced designers for even more great ideas. They love to curate and customize based on your client's interests and passions, and they will work with you to put together a fabulous experience for them. So again, thank you for your time and have a fabulous rest of your week.
Carole, thank you so much. As usual, you just fill our brains with so much great information and inspiration. So this was no exception today. For our audience members, if you have questions for Carole, we have a few minutes that we can answer those. So send those into the question box. It's over in the GoToWebinar panel. You might need to click the little orange button with the white arrow in it to get to the questions, but then you can type it in. So I do have a question here, wondering if you ever are able to offer agent rates.
We actually do have a program for our advisors that would like to come in and visit our destinations. And I actually do have a flyer that explains how that works. So what we can do is we can get that out. I get a list of all of the attendees, so I can include that in a follow-up email. That way everyone on the chat will have it. I'm sorry, everyone on the webinar will have it.
Perfect. That sounds like a good plan. So
Yep.
how does an agency go about registering to work with Beyond Times Square?
That is also very simple. When you go on our, well, first of all, you can call, and our phone number is up there right now. And of course, it's also on our website, btsq.com. But also when you go on btsq.com in the upper right-hand corner, there is a little button that says Travel Agent Portal, and you can take it from there. When you call in, our advisors will get all the information, or when you go through the portal, you can enter all the information, whatever's easier for you. And it's really as easy as name, consortia, travel agency, and IATA. It's a very simple process. We don't ask for a lot.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, it looks like those are all the questions we have right now. If any others come in, I'll forward those along to you. But this has been just a great webinar, Carole, and I'll make sure that we get the replay ready right away. But I'll turn it to you for closing comments.
Okay, and well, I guess that means, Lee, that I just covered everything so thoroughly that nobody has any questions, right? Or else their heads are spinning from all the stuff I just threw at them. But again, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know how busy you all are, and I sincerely appreciate that you take the time out of your day to listen to me go on and on. Because I love to go on and on about it, about what we can offer your luxury clients. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And until next time, take care.
All right, and my thanks as well. We appreciate having all of you here with us. And with that, we'll wish you a great day and conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everybody.